Hello guys, welcome to this video. My name is Khalid, also known as Stekons. I'm a freelance artist and animator, and today I'll be showing you my journaling and sketchbook setup for 2026. These are the notebooks and planners that I'm using currently, and I will explain the system for each one. And these are the sketchbooks that I'm using, which I will be also showing after this. This is my hobonichi weeks that I will be using for planning. This one is my main journal where I'll just be writing and journaling everyday things. And this one is specifically for art. So anything art related, I will be documenting, writing, sketching in here. And let me show you a little bit of the main journal. I already made some pages in here. It's been really fun to do and journaling, I would say, almost every day. The first page is an About Me page. I thought it would be fun to make this little design to document a few of my current interests, favorite food and drink, and favorite music. I think this will be fun to look back on. It's kind of a new thing that I'm doing, so let's see if it sticks. Also a goals page for 2026. I made some different categories of different parts of my life. Also have a favorite moments and accomplishments page. The way I make these, by the way, is just using some scrap paper or different papers that I buy, using washi tape and notepad paper or memo pads, and just kind of designing a new page onto the blank grids. I'm using grid paper, which I quite like. I also use dotted paper sometimes, but I think grids are nice because you can make little dots in there for to-do lists and stuff, which I do quite a lot. This is a page that I'm currently working on that will be a new version of this that I wrote down a while back. This is a little bit too big for the journal, so that's why I'm making a smaller version. And then I left some blank pages over here so I can make some more specific custom pages like this. I like to have those in the beginning so I can look at them quickly. And then from here on, it's kind of freestyle journaling. This is what the pages look like so far. I really like using stationery. I got quite into it this year, actually last year. And yeah, it's really fun to do. I like to write about my day, things that I need to do. Also things I got. It's fun to show it in the journal as well. This is another page that I quite like. I like to draw a little bit sometimes in the journal as well, and make to-do lists. On most days when I'm journaling, I'll make a little text for the day itself and then write down some things about the day, like things that I need to do, a little to-do list, or just a reflection or how I'm feeling. I really like these Pingu stickers. I noticed that using stationery and stickers and just drawing in my journal makes the process of journaling very fun. I think without that, I wouldn't be sticking to it so much. So I definitely recommend doing that if that's something you're into. And then here I made a spread for January 2026. This is something I usually don't do, but I'm going to try it out. I have a list of my goals over here for the month and also a little monthly planner. I think I'll be using this mostly to write down highlights of the day. I still need to start doing this. And tracking some habits that I want to be consistent with. Also got this from Hobonichi, which is a backing paper, I think it's called. So you can have a bit more firm handwriting. So that's pretty much for the main journal. Then we can move on to my hobonichi weeks, which is my planner for the coming year. This is the first time I'm using a hobonichi weeks. Before I was, for 2025, I was using the hobonichi cousin, which I liked, but it was quite big and it had so many different things that I kind of struggled keeping track of everything. It has a monthly planner, a weekly planner, a year planner, and also a daily journal with dates. I found it a bit too intimidating to keep up with, and I didn't really like the fact that there were many days where I didn't journal, and then you kind of are confronted with the fact that you didn't write. So that's why I kind of decided to stick with just a dateless journal, where I can just write the dates in myself. That way it takes the pressure off. And this is then specifically for planning, because I do think the planning aspect was very helpful to me. So I want to keep using that. I'll show you the layout of the Hobonichi weeks very quickly as well. This is an overview of the past year, this year, and next year. It's very small. I'm not really sure if I'll be using this, maybe this part over here, but so far I haven't used it yet. And then there's the yearly overview over here for specific dates. I've used this a little bit so far. I think this is nice for an overview of the year with very important days, like you could write down birthdays of your friends here, but also, for example, I put it here like concerts that I'm going. Then you have the monthly planner, and that's what this looks like over here. This was for December, and then this is for January. The monthly planner is basically just to track your month, and there's some space for to-do lists over here, some space on the left. It's quite a lot smaller than the Hobonichi Cousin, so I have to figure out how I'm going to be using all this space, but I think it should be fine, because there's also a weekly part of the planner, which I like the most. I would say it's probably the most iconic part, since it's called the Hobonichi Weeks. This is just an overview of the entire week, and then here it's like blank grids with some lines over here that you can use to divide things into categories. I've seen some people do this. I haven't really tried it so far. What I've been doing so far is kind of putting in some trackers. I have a stamp for this that I will show you later. This is my sleep tracker, and this is a workout tracker, and also some to-do lists for the week. And after writing the to-do list here, I try to plan it in my days. So yeah, that's pretty much what the Hobonichi Weeks looks like. This is how I will continue to use it, mainly for to-dos here for the entire week, and then just write down some important dates for the week. And of course the tracking, which is very fun to do. So far for the Hobonichi Weeks. And then lastly, we have this notebook over here that I really like. When I saw it online, I immediately knew that I wanted to have it, and I was able to buy it in Japan. It's a horizontal format, which you don't really see often, so that's kind of what intrigued me the most about it. I immediately thought to myself, how am I going to use this? I wasn't really sure, but I was sure that I wanted to try it out, because usually when I have notebooks, they're always kind of like this kind of format, just verticals. But this is very different, and I thought, what's better to use this for than for my artistic journey, since that's already a bit more spontaneous and there's like more room for creativity. I thought that could be a good outlet. I made a little setup for it. There's not too much in there, but this is an introduction page, so I'm explaining what I'm using it for, and also some categories. This way I can easily look back at some specific things, like a list of my characters, my OCs, idea dump, product development, my web shop stuff, cons, markets, Patreon, YouTube, and task log. So here you can see, this is the layout, idea dump. So the idea dump is kind of just to write down any random idea that I don't want to forget. And then from here on, it's kind of just freestyle writing and sketching. These are some early concepts for a new project that I'm working on. I got quite excited about it, and we'll be continuing with this very soon. As you can see, there's a lot of pages here, so I will be using this for quite a while, I think. So that's for the horizontal, or the backside is very pretty too, by the way. So that's pretty much the journal setup. And now I'll quickly show you my sketchbooks as well. I have two different sizes. I bought these at Sekai in Japan as well. Very nice sketchbooks. I like the horizontal format. there's not really a system to this. One is just smaller and one is just bigger. So I'll just be using whichever I feel like. This is a bit more easy for on the go. Although sometimes I'll also be taking this with me. This is from memory, Pim from Smiling Friends. Really good show. And the rest is still blank. This is what I was doodling today. So yeah, that's pretty much my journal and sketchbook setup for this coming year. And now I will show you the stationery that I like to use. So in my journal you probably saw a bunch of washi tape. These are some of my favorite ones that I am using. I got a lot of these from my recent Japan trip. This is a very cool Pingu one from the Pingu pop-up shop that I was able to see. It's actually like just a set of stickers, but it's just like in the format of a washi tape. I quite like it. It's really fun to use. I like that everything has like a different kind of expression, so it's something that I'm eager to use. This is a washi tape that I designed a few months ago, and I'm also selling at markets and occasionally in my web shop. I really like this one. Some cool, I think it's called geisha designs. I also like to use these checker washi tape if I want something not character based. And let's take a look at some of the stamps. This is a very cool Ghibli stamp set with different stamps in one package. I'll show you how the stamps look like. Very cute. You can basically buy these kind of ink pads. I'm not really sure what exactly they're called. If you have a stamp that does not have ink with it, then you can use that to stamp your stamp like this. And some are already pre-inked, like this one, for example, which is a really useful monthly tracker. You can use it for anything, but I think it's best for habit tracking. The way you can stamp this one is just directly onto the page. Also found this really fun Pingu one at a flea market, along with this one. Really like them. They're very old, so the stamp doesn't really work exactly like it should, I think, but it's still just, I think that comes with a charm. This is another pre-inked one that I found in a stationery store. I use this one quite a lot because it's very small and easy to take on the go, plus the design is just very funny. And also this one over here, little dinosaur. Also very fun. It's very small. I like that as well. You can add it into just anywhere in your pages, really. also got this different colors to use for the stamp. Sometimes I like to use this entirely to get like a range of colors. This is, I think, my favorite, or one of my favorite stamps. It's a weekly tracker, specifically for sleep, I think, but you can kind of use it as well for different things. I sometimes cross out these icons over here and then add some new ones on the side, so that way you can just use this for any kind of habit tracking. Of course, you can draw this as well, but this stamp just saves a lot of time if you're into habit tracking. And of course, I also really like to use stickers, as you can see in the journal. This is one that I made very recently that still needs to be turned into an actual sticker sheet. I just printed these out in the printer. Yeah, just a bunch of sticker sheets. It's kind of too much to really keep track of or show. Let's see, I'm using this little tray to just keep everything in there. Yeah, just a lot of different sticker sheets. Some I like to use for letters as well, or just like little decoration things. And then I also like to use single stickers. Some are big, some are small. These are some of the single stickers that I'm planning to use but I haven't used yet. I'll also tag the artist in the video. Some fun Severance stickers from a good friend of mine, Maya, and these are also from a lot of people that I'm friends with or just know from markets or other places. This is a little car sticker that I made. So some cool Naruto stickers. Love Naruto. Also, this is my Stoppo. For those who are familiar with hobonichi, you probably recognize this. For those who don't, this is a product that hobonichi sells in their store and online as well. It's kind of for stationery. You can use it on the go, but you can also use it for display, just when you're working. I like to do both ways. This is a little keychain that I attached to it. It's a very cool design. It's a Tamagotchi design from, I think this is from the 2026, so like the New Year edition. They have like different designs every year. I quite like this one because it's very vibrant and just very fun to look at. And it has like these pockets that are pretty useful. You can store anything in it, like post-its or scraps, or you can even put your journal in there as well. Oh, and also this part over here, you could open it up and then just fit things in there like this. I like to have it on display a lot of the times, where I'll just be putting some of my most used pens and markers in there, and also some stickers, so I can just grab them as I'm working. And lastly, I think it's fun to show you some of my art supplies. This pencil case is very useful because it kind of works like this. You can just put it there and grab the stuff right away. It's very cute. I use these Micron pens a lot for journaling. I like the 0.5 a lot. It's a nice thickness. And sometimes I use just like, this was from, I think, a matcha whisk that we bought a while back. I like to use it sometimes for display. I really like these set of pens from Pentel. They're very nice. I love the thickness. You've probably seen it a lot in the journal. Pretty much everything here is with these pens. And then this is another pencil case for more art supplies. It's a little bit too much to cover, but I'll quickly show you some of them. I really like this brush marker. It's outside. It has like this very cool texture when you use it. So that's definitely some of my favorite. art supplies. I have them in some different colors. Yeah, really cool. I also like to keep scraps sometimes. If I have things from packaging, I like to keep them because I can use them for scrapbooking. And just pages that I've used for stamping and stuff, I will eventually use as a background as well. These are some really cool textured papers that I like to use. Also these prints from a friend of mine who I really like his art. I will be probably cutting these out and using them as backgrounds or yeah, scrapbook. I also have this, it's actually from a balloon. I think if I cut it out, it can be a pretty cool overlay, or I could even make like a little pocket out of it. I'm not really sure how I'm going to use it, but I think it's always fun to experiment with new materials. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope it brought you some joy or inspiration. Let me know in the comments what your journal setup looks like or your creative setup. I'd love to know what you guys are doing for this year. Thanks again for watching. I wish you guys a very great 2026 and hope to see you in the next video. Bye.